and black communities have had historically a system of domination upon them. So you're telling me they've been protecting, the police have been protecting laws and policies to uphold the state. The state has in turn dominated and controlled my people into oppression in all different levels. They control that.
Where were all the protests and the Black Lives Matter march when the white kid in Huntington Beach got shot yesterday?
What are you talking about?
Where
was the Black Lives Matter when a white kid got shot?
What I'm saying is, where were all the protests when the white kids getting shot are underreported in the media? Okay, more white people are killed by police than black people.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a statistic.
What?
More white people are killed by cops than black people. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Do you not understand the problem?
What's going on?
I went undercover with Antifa and BAM. I'm Rick Wright from the Red Elephants. So if you guys are interested in an interview, then yeah.
Oh, sure. So let's talk to you right now.
No.
I
Okay.
understand your argument.
Just 1 minute, though. Hold on.
Blacks are mass incarcerated. You want to talk proportion? 13% of our population, black Americans, cause over 55% of the nation's crime. 13% of our population causes over three-quarters.
Who gets
of
to
violent
decide
crime
what
in
is
America.
crime and what
You
isn't?
want to talk proportion? That's why they're mass
allowed-
incarcerated. You want to also know why they're mass incarcerated? 72% of black babies are born without fathers. And I didn't say it, Obama did. If you're fatherless home, you're 5 times more likely to turn to a life of crime. That's why they're mass incarcerated.
That's why?
Not some conspiracy theory that the white man's holding you down, because that equates to the conspiracy theory of the alt-right that Jews are holding white people down. It's not a fact. It's not a fact. You want to argue proportion? We can argue proportion and statistics all day long. Because I just shut your conspiracy theory down.
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's historical narrative. All you have to do is walk in a classroom and understand this. All you have to do.
Anti-black rhetoric by Trump. You just said it's not about quotes.
I talked
it's
about
how it
euphemisms.
feels. We're not talking
Does
about feelings. No one gives a
Can
fuck
anyone
about
walk
your
around
feelings.
and memorize Trump quotes in their head?
America cares
Does
about
anyone
that.
do that? Oh, maybe because you're a Trump supporter.
No, he
Can
just
you
memorized
memorize?
a bunch of statistics. It's called studying. If you're
It's
going to make
not
an argument, you should probably study before you try to make an argument. Who doesn't study for a test? You fail if you don't study for a test. It's pretty
test
simple.
about who?
About life. If
About
you're going to
life.
go and make arguments,
What
and then
are
you should
arguments?
probably... You were just trying to say all
this
sorts of arguments
country
with
is
him.
historically
He brought
anti-black.
You tried
that
to
it's
bring up
systematic
statistics and
institutionally.
proportions. He argued
did it.
statistics
He
and
said that
proportions,
we
and you
make
couldn't
it-
make one point.
He said white people are more likely to die by police than black people.
They are.
Why is that? How much are we compared to the United States in terms of white people? What's the
3 times
population?
more likely.
Why?
if-
How many white people are there compared to black people?
It's not. That's already corrected for population. It is by police encounters. Yes.
No.
So in other words, if you have 100 black police encounters, 100 white police encounters, and one ends up in death, then the whites would have 3 more than blacks. That's the statistics. But I mean, I guess that means I win the argument.
All right, so it looks like you won that one. So
This week, Donald Trump released his new tax plan, which was immediately shot down by his political opponents on the left. But what would those same people think if they were told that that tax plan was actually Bernie Sanders' plan? Today we're at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. to find out. What were your thoughts on Trump's tax plan when you saw it?
It's better for the upper class than anyone else.
Pretty much horrible for the middle class, especially the lower class.
I mean, not ideal.
It's probably not the most efficient nor beneficial to the general populace.
Pretty negative. I feel the same. Yeah.
So Bernie Sanders came out with his plan. Some people call it the compassionate alternative. So we're getting opinions on Bernie's plan. First, one of Bernie Sanders' plans is to enhance the child tax credit, which is tax money given back to families when they have children. What do you think of that? Positive or negative?
Positive.
All right.
Same. I was a social worker, so I understand how important tax credits like that are.
Parents that have children go through a lot, and I think giving back money to them really, in turn, helps the children. I think that's great.
I think that's positive, definitely.
Positive, definitely.
Next up, eliminating the death tax. So when people die, it's a large tax on their estate that goes to their family. What do you think of that?
I think that's definitely something that we should be doing.
I do think that's a good idea because I'm from New Jersey and we used to have like a really heavy inheritance tax.
I'm in favor of that.
I would say more positive.
I think I agree with that.
Bernie is planning to lower the small business tax rate to a maximum of 25%. I think that's a positive or negative?
I definitely think that's a positive.
I feel very positively toward that. My family has a small business, so I would definitely think that's a positive thing.
Taxing them less makes more sense.
Any way we can help small businesses work and thrive, it's definitely something that's beneficial for the country.
I think that would be great.
Overall, main idea of the plan, what do you think? Bernie did a good job, bad job?
I think overall, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Good job, Bernie.
I think it's definitely a good plan, a positive plan that can help everyone.
I think it's pretty good. Like, definitely better than whatever Trump is proposing. I would make that leap right there. So.
What if I told you this actually is Donald Trump's tax plan, not Bernie's?
You got me.
It is. It's Trump's plan.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
All of these are actually Trump's ideas. This is actually Trump's plan.
Wow. Wow, that's interesting. Wow.
I am shocked that I do agree with Trump on certain things.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm definitely happily surprised that it's like sounds a lot better than I would have expected it to.
I would have imagined he would be a little more stupid than that.
Okay. So, but it's not a stupid plan?
No, I don't think so. But I think if you said it was Trump, at least for many people, it would be more opposition to it just because it was Trump.
It could be a policy of giving me ice cream, but if it's Trump, I'd be like, what's in that ice cream?
I definitely think there's an initial bias. I mean, I've done it myself. Like, I'll just like hear the word Trump and I'm like, ugh. I definitely think that's something to like need to be like looked over.
People, once they hear Trump or like Republican, they become like, oh, they suck no matter what.
I think people definitely hear the name and start to think things automatically. And also because a lot of people just go to the same news sources, the same media, it makes it tough to get other points of views.
The first illegal immigrant lawyer in the state of New York, and he joins us tonight. Caesar, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Tucker.
So this makes, I gotta say, I think normal people a lot less sympathetic to so-called dreamers. The idea that you're in a country illegally and you're standing in the middle of an intersection preventing citizens from getting to work. You're making basically violent demands in public when you're not even a citizen. I mean, do you see why maybe this is a counterproductive strategy and kind of offensive?
Well, regardless of whether you agree with the protests or not, they have a constitutional right to express their opinion. But to the point about...
No, actually, stop. Stop with this. I mean, you're a lawyer. They don't have a constitutional right to block me from getting to work in the middle of a public street. I'm sorry, they don't.
You may disagree with it, but again, this is about actually not...
No, it's not disagreeing with it. I'm giving you the fact. You don't have a constitutional right to stand in the middle of the street and prevent traffic from going.
Absolutely, you do. This is about making sure that... And again,
then why were they arrested? Well, I thought you were a lawyer.
Well, absolutely. Obviously, they're doing the civil disobedience, and obviously they're expressing. That's why they're being arrested, because obviously they're enforcing the law. But again,
okay, so they don't have a wait. No, I mean, just wait. Hold on. I wouldn't stop you on this small point if you weren't an attorney, the first illegal alien attorney in New York. But just to be clear, you don't have a constitutional right to block traffic. You have a constitutional right as a citizen to express your views. It's protected by the First Amendment, thank God. But you don't have a constitutional right to get in people's way on a public street, period. Russians have a First Amendment right, according to you, I guess, to block my way home after work. But
well, they don't have a right to block on the way home. That's why this protester got arrested.
Right,
and I think, but they do have the right
Thank you for finally admitting that.
Themselves.
No, but look, the point is the same. That if you're not an American citizen, you don't get to shape, influence my laws. You don't get to choose my leaders. You don't get to run my country. Only Americans do. That's why there's a difference between citizens and non-citizens. And once again, you're trying to erase that difference. There's no other country in the world that will put up with this kind of nonsense, but we're too nice, and therefore we do. Do you see my point?
This is why the United States is a very special place, because even though U.S. citizens have the right to vote, even though they have everything, we have the right to, many people, to express their views, to be protected against unreasonable search and seizures, and we have certain constitutional rights that it applies to everyone, and that's fundamental.
Are you a citizen, by the way, Caesar?
I am not. But I do hold the Constitution that applies to everyone. So when you say
we, it's not really we. You're not a citizen of this country.
I am an American.
You seem like a nice guy and everything.
Story.
No, but you're not an American. I mean, there's a legal definition here. I'm not attacking you personally.
What is the legal definition for being an American?
The legal definition is citizenship. That's what the definition is. It's really simple.
No, absolutely.
Are you a citizen? Can you vote in our elections, or can't you?
I cannot vote in the elections, but I can voice my opinion as an American. And I am going to be an American pretty soon, because I'm going to continue to advocate and to represent my community and to demand, just as many Americans have demanding
you're in someone else's country, and you get, again, I'm not attacking you personally.
Oh, of course.
I just think the distinction is a meaningful one.
We want to be very clear of what it means to be an American. Being American does not mean a piece of paper. Being American is about holding certain values, about freedom, about liberty.
You actually don't hold those values. It's about believing in the rule of law, and you don't. So actually, you just invalidated your claim to Americanness, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, Caesar, thank you for joining us.
Hello, my name is Jane. I'm social justice based. Agree with me